start. The Lindsay Clancy trial wrapping up its second week today with the court hearing testimony from the doctors who treated the Duxbury mother in the weeks leading up to the murders of her 3 children. Clancy voluntarily checked herself into McLean Hospital in Belmont on New Year's Day, 2023. She met with several psychiatrists, nurses, and mental health workers, including one doctor who assessed Clancy just days after she arrived. She testified Clancy had no plan for suicide, citing her children and family as reasons why she wouldn't. That was echoed by Dr. Jennifer Tufts, another psychiatrist who took the stand today.
Did you ask her questions such as, do you have suicidal intent?
Yes.
What was her response?
That she did not.
Did you ask her if she had homicidal intent?
Yes.
What was her response?
That she did not.
Did you ask her if she was experiencing any auditory hallucinations or visual hallucinations?
Yes.
What was her response?
She did not.
Is now one of the defendants named in a civil lawsuit filed in January by Clancy and her ex-husband, Patrick. That case alleges that Tufts, McLean Hospital, and healthcare providers failed to properly diagnose and treat Clancy. She's pleaded not guilty, with her defense arguing she shouldn't be held criminally responsible for her children's murders due to her mental state.